Welcome back. We've got BYU in the house. Guys, we got Richie, Saunders, AJ Dybantsa, Rob Wright, and Coach Young. So I just had to talk a whole bunch of defense with Coach Hodge. So now all I want to do is just talk offense with you guys, if you guys are okay with that.
Way more exciting.
We're way more excited. So we're going to, guys, I'm going to ask you questions. Media's going to ask you questions as well. But I wanted to dive in to the film real quick here and watch this play. So this is actually the opening tip against Queens. And I thought this is one of my favorite actions because for you guys, it's not just about actions. It's also about concepts and how you read everything. So let's go ahead and run it real quick. And right off the tip, when I'm watching BYU, I know it's not one action, the second action, the third action. It's going to be the concepts that you guys actually find and manipulate the defense with. So you have Richie Saunders there. Obviously, we're highlighting him. Okay, go ahead and run it. And you're just coming off that quick pin down of where you're going to pop out. And then that's when everything starts to get going, right, is when you go into the DHO, and then you've got the screen along the baseline, and then that ghost veer action for the pin down for the bucket. Just run it back one more time because, Richie, I want to get your reaction to this real quick, okay? It's going to make it real tough on you. So let's just run it all the way through, and I'm going to freeze at a certain point, but go ahead and run it. And which, Coach, by the way, big fan of the ghost flare action, or excuse me, the ghost veer action as much as you can, Kata. So freeze it. You got this pin down here, Richie, where you came off, and my friend, you're wide open. Are you just furious that you didn't get that in the corner?
Well, you got to realize Trevor Nell, who's no longer crazy. He's been on the team forever, but he's not anymore. So Trevor Nell coming off a screen like that, I can't be mad about that.
You're okay with that? You're not
good,
actually
I'm
too
good,
upset.
I'm good.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Trevor told me to actually ask you that. Sure, yes. No, I'm kidding. Guys, thank you for being here. Coach Young, wanted to ask you first right away. When you have a handful of guys returning, including All-American like Richie as yourself, the identification process in the portal, not just from a recruiting standpoint, but how you're assessing how you're going to build your roster out with your staff. What were those conversations like?
Well, one, it was really once AJ decided he wanted to come join up with us, we kind of pushed pause and looked at what did we want the team to look like in its entirety, knowing that he was coming. At that time, we weren't sure what Richie was going to be doing either, so there was some ongoing dialogue there. And then we had obviously a big hole at the point guard position when Yegor decided to go to the NBA. And so in short order, we wanted to make sure we get the point guard situation addressed, which obviously we did with one of the most dynamic guards in the country in Rob Wright. And then when Richie decided he was going to come back, we felt like we wanted to go out and just add even more shooting experience and defense, perimeter defense to our group. And that's kind of, if you look at the moves we made in the portal, that's what we did. Kennard Davis, we went out and got, was a big portal addition for us. I think he's going to be one of the best 3-and-D wings in the country this year. And then the guys we added along with that were kind of in that vein of being able to knock down threes and be able to guard their own man.
Okay, Rob, as the point guard, I'm going to ask you to break down Richie's game in the most horrible, terrible way possible. See if you can break down all the flaws. Let's see what you got.
I honestly don't think he had too many flaws. He probably
wow, what an answer! What an answer!
True point guard right there.
That's right.
He's probably one of the hardest players I've ever played with. Like, he plays the hardest. Besides Cooper, probably Cooper Flag. He plays super hard. But we run in after practice, and he's first every time. I mean, just seeing how hard he works. After practice, he's trying to guard. I remember one practice I got like a steal, and I kind of grabbed somebody's arm and a little trick I do, and he was going crazy about it, just trying to learn how to do it. So that just tells a lot about him. I mean, he's just trying to learn and be the best player he could be.
I love that. AJ, obviously you have to talk a lot about your game and what you bring in that process, and that's been talked about a lot, but from an X's and O's standpoint, from it's you and me, from hooper to hooper basketball, your game, how it fits in conceptually with BYU's offense. Can you break that down for me?
Yeah, I think on the offensive side, I can do a little bit of everything. I think I can score all three levels, but I think my playmaking is one of the more underrated parts of my game. I think I can get to the paint and make decisions. So I think with our offense and our 4-out, one that I think I can get in the paint, throw lobs to Cato or spray out to Richie or Rob for some threes.
So just we have any questions for the from the media before we continue on? So Richie, take me through when new guys. Let's just stick with Rob and AJ here. You take me through when you those pickup games. What are those like when you're having to line up against those two guys?
I mean, it's scary for a team that's not with us. But when it has to be broken up, it's, like there's just so much talent. I think especially having the guard is one of the challenges. Which, I mean, that was one of my focuses for the offseason. And so I was always trying to figure out how to guard Rob, and which is a nightmare. But, I was trying. They're just competitive.
So, Coach Young, one more time. We've kind of talked a little bit about this, and this is the cool thing, and we don't have to go too down the rabbit hole, but conceptually having action specifically for a player versus conceptually having sets, right? You just got these sets where that's we think college basketball run this play versus putting guys in spots to be successful.
Yeah, I mean we do it, and this was just my NBA life. I worked for a lot of good coaches and kind of learned how I would create my own philosophy, and a large part of that is just how the game's broken down in terms of when you actually possess the ball. So for us, we have most of our concepts are baked in when we're playing in transition, whether it's after a make or a miss. When the game stopped, like this play that you just showed, that was the first play of that particular game. So when the game is just completely stopped, I'll call an actual set. When we're playing in flow, we have a conceptually based offense that's read and react. And then as that possession progresses, if we're not scoring, then we try to flow into our concepts, our kind of end of shot clock type concepts. So that's kind of how we break things down. These guys have been great and Richie's been really good at kind of showing these two, kind of how we do that. And, it's definitely a work in progress. I think that's the thing that is challenging with every team here, right? You're piecemealing teams together in a short period of time of guys that haven't really played together. And so that's our focus right now, just trying to get all those concepts and that chemistry flowing so that these guys are just using their instincts to go play and not thinking about what play I'm trying to call.
I'm going to flip it, Richie. Now I got to have you break down Rob's game because you're right. You are one of the most dynamic point guards in the country. You could be brutal to him. This is a safe space. It's totally okay. But break down Rob's game for us. What you've seen so far, because it's not this it's not a light switch that happens all the time. It takes time to build chemistry.
100%. I mean, there's nobody here, just can understand what it's like having Rob come down at you downhill to the basket. It's seriously one of the most impressive things I've seen, and it's fun to play with. I think it's been cool to see how he's really bought into the way we play, and he gets past his first defender easy. And so it's just seeing him make those reads, and we always talk about playing off of 2 feet, and he's become a 2 feet genius. And yeah, it's fun having a point guard like that.
2 feet genius, man. We're going to keep that. Going to use that. Yeah. Real quick, AJ, before we go, one word to describe BYU basketball.
Unselfish.
Incredible. You kidding me? That's a fantastic answer, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and good luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.